Most triathletes waste the off-season. They think they're building fitness, but the truth is their habits are actually slowing them down. In this video, I'll show you the 10 mistakes that stop you from starting next season fitter and faster, and how to avoid them. I've worked with hundreds of triathletes on their nutrition and training habits, and I see the same patterns repeat every winter. And whether you're new to triathlon or are going for an Ironman PB next year, these will help you to be in better shape come the spring. This one is wild when you think about it, yet I see so many triathletes do it. Imagine you reached the point where you were fluent in another language, and then you stopped speaking it for 6 months. By the time you decide you want to again, you'll be really rusty and feel irritated you aren't where you were before. The same thing happens with nutrition. Triathletes finish their last race, take a breather, and suddenly nutrition just becomes an afterthought. But the crazy thing is that the off-season is actually the best time to cement habits. There's no stress from racing, training is usually lower than your peak race season amounts, and you have more mental bandwidth. If you nail your everyday nutrition now, so think lots of fruit and veg, balanced meals, consistent fueling around training, it carries through the entire year. So don't use your off-season to tune out of nutrition completely. Use it to work on the things that you know you've been neglecting while racing. Without a race on the horizon, it's easy to drift. You're much more likely to do random sessions without any clear purpose. Now, don't get me wrong, I think it's good to have a period of time after race season is over where you just do whatever you want. Maybe that's training. Maybe it isn't at all. Just don't let this phase go on for too long, because it's a perfect time to set yourself up for the next year. And in my experience, one of the best ways to do this is to set clear goals. These don't have to be huge. They could be process goals like 3 swims a week, or consistently get 8 hours of sleep a night, or something else that keeps you motivated. Small specific targets give you focus. I love booking a half marathon early in the year because it gives me focus through the winter months when going outside in the British weather seems kind of unappealing. So many triathletes double down on their strengths in winter, and it makes sense. Do more of what you enjoy, which tends to be what you're strongest at. Strong cyclists ride even more. Those who love running find an excuse to do more of that because the race pressure isn't there anymore to force them to focus on the other disciplines. But the limiter doesn't go away by ignoring it. If your form breaks down on your long runs, drills and technique work in winter might be the best investment you ever make. If your swim sucks, get in the pool more frequently and actually work on it like you want to get better, because come next season you will be much more confident and stronger in the water and feel like you can actually race. And if you're already thinking ahead to a new wetsuit for racing next year, check out Zone 3's range, including their Aspire wetsuit. Zone 3 are sponsoring this video, but I didn't let them until I'd had a proper chance to use their kit during training and racing so that I felt comfortable recommending it to you. The Aspire has been a multi-award-winning suit for over 15 years, and the latest version is built from a more sustainable neoprene, which I really like. I had a brilliant split for me at T100 London, despite not doing much swim training in the build-up, which I'm fairly sure was down to the suit rather than my crappy training. The Aspire is comfortable, the shoulder flexibility is amazing thanks to the shoulder panels that give 360-degree stretch, and it didn't feel like it trashed my arms either. And to top it off, the Pro Speed transition cuffs meant I could have my watch underneath the wetsuit without it hurting or getting in the way when I quickly slipped the wetsuit off in transition. Link to Zone 3 is in the description and comment section of this video, and if swimming has always felt like your weak link, this is the kind of upgrade that makes it feel like less of a battle. So we're moving now from Zone 3 over to Zone 2. See what I did there? Good one, James. But Zone 2 training is amazing. It builds aerobic endurance, and it's the foundation that your race performance is built on. Neglect Zone 2 training, and you're screwed. But if your entire winter is one long slow plod, you'll lose your top end fitness. Come spring, you won't have any pop, and that can be really hard to build from. I know everyone is different, but in my opinion, sprinkling in intensity throughout the off season is still a brilliant thing to do and might be really important for your goals. Think of it like seasoning food. Zone 2 is the meal, but intensity is the spice. Too much spice ruins it, but none at all, and it's a bit bland. One of the things that I hear which really winds me up is when triathletes say, I don't need to fuel my workouts until race season. Why not? What is it about the off season that gives you the magical ability to perform without fuel? Because if that's the case, why bother fueling in race season? Fueling unlocks the key to better training and recovery. If you underfuel, your sessions feel sluggish, your legs will be heavy, and you carry fatigue into your next workout. Your training will feel totally trash too. Even in winter, carbs around sessions matter. A banana before your swim, gels during a long turbo, recovery shake after a big session. These are the small tweaks that keep your training quality high. Get into good habits now so that as your training volume and intensity increase, you're already able to support it. Winter is prime strength season for triathletes. Strength training makes you more resilient. It improves bone density, tendon health, body composition, and even power transfer. We actually had a really cool expert workshop in the Hub last month from Carla from Vital Performance Care, where she gave us a masterclass on strength training, and it's clear it can be so beneficial for triathletes. Those who skip it are more likely to get injured, and they might be missing out on direct performance gains. But it doesn't have to be complicated. 2 sessions a week, heavy lifting with an element of progressive overload. Come race season, your body will thank you for being a strong, resilient piece of This might be the cheapest speed upgrade you'll ever get. Winter is perfect for swim stroke analysis, bike fit tweaks, run drills. You don't have the same fatigue or racing pressure, so you can break things down and rebuild them better. Too many triathletes focus on just the end outcome of swim, bike, and running faster, and do the equivalent of putting more water into a bucket that has a couple of holes in. You might be able to fill it up by putting more and more in, but it's never going to be watertight and it's only going to get worse over time. Just trying harder with triathlon kind of works, but it's not the smartest way to do it. Spend some time in the off season working on the little bits of your swim, bike, and run that aren't quite as exciting, but make a huge difference to your overall performance. Now, I am all about balance, whether it's training, work, nutrition, family life, you name it. And when it comes to the off season, spending some time with people rather than sweating alone on your turbo might even be a good thing to do. So have your nights out, watch films and be a bit lazy if you want to, and maybe meet up with your aunt who you've been putting off for ages for a coffee. But if every weekend is late nights, loads of booze and full of rubbish sleep, you're just digging holes you'll have to climb out of. Think of what your long-term goals are and remind yourself regularly, and then try to find a balance of keeping on track with them and letting your hair down a bit in the off-season. I know a couple of triathletes who just do not stop. They are constantly pushing themselves to do the next big thing, the next race, the next PB. Even when they are feeling absolutely they keep going. So while they have an off season, it just doesn't really end up looking that much different from their racing season. Your body and your brain need downtime. A proper recovery phase after your big races, like a week or 2 of genuinely reduced load and intensity, maybe some alternative activities like hiking or yoga, helps you recharge and come back stronger. If you skip that, you're more likely to burn out mid-season or hit a plateau, because you just can't keep going that hard forever. Some people want to lose weight, or more specifically fat, in the off-season, and that's fair enough. It can be a brilliant time to do this because you're away from the stress of racing and you can properly focus on it. But the most common mistake I see is that triathletes completely strip their calories back, aiming for a big deficit because they know that will help them lose weight faster, which it does. It also almost always completely backfires too. If you're considering losing weight in the off season, then you should watch this video here, because I go through the biggest issues I see as a sports nutritionist with triathletes who try to lose weight, and instead show you how to do it properly.